Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala an was blessed with what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself described as being a muhaddath. Muhaddath is a person who is not a Nabi of Allah ta'ala, but he is divinely inspired. Those aspects are inspired into his heart, which come directly from Allah ta'ala's side. So therefore, the statements of Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala an are very deep, and they get to the root of the issue. So among his many advices and guidance that he gave, on one occasion he explained that the person who man kasura kalamuhu kasura saqatu, the person who talks a lot all the time, he has to be saying something anywhere and everywhere, he has to have his say in the matter. So the person who this becomes his habit, this becomes his manner, his way, that he has to keep saying something or the other, then his mistakes will be many also. Because when a person is just talking, just anywhere and everywhere all the time, just saying something, there's no time to then think that what am I saying, is this the thing to be said? Is this correct? Is this even verified? Is this appropriate to be said? Is this going to bring me closer to Allah Ta'ala or take me away? No thoughts. Because it's a matter of that I cannot be left behind in anything. And especially now, half a dozen people are sitting there and everybody has got something to say. How can I be left behind or left out? So the person who's going to keep talking and anything and everything, he has to have his comment into it. Somebody has passed, he has to have a comment on that. Somebody said something, he must have a comment on that person's statement. So he is going to slip up often. He is going to make mistakes often. He's going to say the wrong thing. He's going to say something that might hurt somebody. He might say something that is clearly sinful. He will fall often. And the person who keeps falling in making mistakes of this nature, then over time, وَمَنْ كَثُرَ سَقَطُهُ قَلَّ حَيَاؤُهُ, then gradually his shame and modesty starts diminishing. Because a person who for the first time he fell in public for the first time, so now he feels very shy about it, very embarrassed about it. But he fell the second time and the same people saw him falling 10 times, it means nothing now if he fell again in front of them. So likewise, he makes a mistake and says something out of turn one time, he will feel a lot of embarrassment about it, because he realized now this was not the thing to have been said. But then the second time, the 10th time, the 20th time, then it doesn't mean anything to him, because that shame has diminished. And the person whose shame diminishes, whose haya decreases, this directly impacts on his piety. Then that taqwa goes out. Because now there's no haya, and haya is the barrier against doing things that are incorrect, shameful, things that are shameless rather, things that don't behove a person, a mu'min, let alone a person studying deen. So now his haya, when that diminishes, then the taqwa, the piety, consciousness of Allah Ta'ala, all that becomes a thing of the past. And when that happens, وَمَنْ قَلَّ حَيَاؤُهُ مَاتَ قَلْبُهُ, then his heart dies. The dead heart can't move in the right direction then, because that heart is dead. Now, this is a result of haya dying, haya diminishing. But haya is diminished due to many issues. But in this particular instance, the matter that is being highlighted is, one of the things that directly impacts on that haya diminishing is excessive speech. Person excessively talking, just all the time has to have some comment. Anything and everything he has to have something to say. And he cannot spend a little while just sitting, maybe doing his own work, just paying attention to what he's supposed to be doing. He has to be part of everybody's issues. So such a person, he is in danger of this end result. He is in danger of this end result, that one thing will lead to another. It will lead to constantly saying something out of place, and that will result in the decrease and diminishing of his haya, and that will decrease his consciousness of Allah Ta'ala, that results in a dead heart. So this is the very crucial aspect of looking after the tongue. Not that a person goes on either extreme, that a person now decides that he's not going to say one word, and that's another extreme. The middle path is what is required, but when it's time for a person to be engaged in his work, engaged in his lessons, etc., that's a time to be fully concentrating on that. Then sometimes to freshen the mind, person is engaging in some little lightheartedness, some casual talk, no problem with that. But everything within its limits. But that should not be ever the habit of a person, that he has to be all the time speaking something. That can bring great amount of difficulties for him.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।